Joe in real life, squat every day, 106. I'm really happy today. Just this morning, I got my 100th subscriber. And I know that as YouTube benchmarks go, 100 subscribers is not that big a deal. But I'm happy. I'm happy and I'm proud of it. And I don't care, you know? I started this YouTube channel. It's kind of a secret to the people in my life, so that everyone that subscribes, with minimal exceptions, I don't know you in real life. I didn't use any of my clout in the land of the living to boost my channel. So, like everyone that clicked subscribe, did it purely based on content, which is kind of crazy weird because I think my content's kind of crap. But also, I don't know. I try to get on here and I try to tell the truth of my experience, you know? And what it's like to just be a fucking run-of-the-mill dude who's getting on in his years and is trying to stay in shape. Is trying to not surrender to father time. Today I'm going to do the Kang Squats. You guys hate the Kang Squats. And for good reason. You know, they're probably not the smartest movement. That's where you hinge forward into a good morning and then drop down to an ass to grass squat and come up. It probably teaches bad motor patterns, but it's a great way for me to get warm in the hips, the ankles, the knees. It is a cold day in Savannah, Georgia. And I like them. So I'm going to do them anyway, even though they might not be the best idea. I'm going to try and do some overhead pressing too. We'll see if I get warm enough. I might just skip that. I might skip all of my auxiliary heavy lifting until the new year. And I'm going to work on a hypertrophy phase for that, some muscle building for the month of January. Later today, I'm going to post another video. And, you know, if you're watching this one, it's pretty skippable, probably. Just a thank you. A thank you to my 100 subs. And a little discussion on what the plans are for the coming year, you know? And I do it right now, but I have to write them first. I don't know what my plans are. It'll be a New Year's resolution-y. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for the Kang Squats. And I love you guys. I know I talked a little trash about the patheticness of 100 subs, but also I genuinely am proud of myself, and I'm super grateful to all of you. That's that. Stay tuned. So about 15 years ago, I had a friend that I worked with. We were in the mental health field together. And he was my best friend, honestly. And he was a Reiki healer. If you don't know what Reiki is, it's kind of like a laying on of hands, spiritual and energy healing modality. Anyway, I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in any of it. I didn't then, and I definitely don't now. And I would continually give him a hard time about it and make fun of him, you know? Which I should backpedal just a little bit and say I don't have anything against spiritual folk. I call myself an agnostic, but really I'm an agnostic that leans heavily into atheist. I find all of that stuff fascinating. I think it enriches and benefits people's lives for the better in almost every instance, actually. But I'm not convinced. I don't believe. So anyway, I was about 30 years old. He was a little younger than me, and I ragged on him endlessly about being a fucking wizard, you know, and healing people. And he had this idea that he was going to teach me Reiki. He was going to initiate me into becoming a Reiki healer. And he would always react to my teasing with like, let me train you, let me teach you, let me initiate you, you become a Reiki healer. And I was like, I don't believe in this stuff. And he's, well, that's what makes it interesting, you know? Like, that's what makes it a good experiment. Doesn't matter if you believe or not. Would you still be able to channel the energy and heal someone, even if you don't believe? And I'd be like, well, definitely not, because nobody can, because it's impossible. And then he's like, then what do you lose by trying? So anyway, long story short, he broke me down. And I allowed him to initiate me. I figured it would be a relatively benign process. And I was completely and totally wrong. It required about an hour to an hour and a half every day of pretty strict meditation and breath work. This was my first sort of venture into this stuff. I had never done anything like it before. And now I'm a yoga teacher, so I mean, you can see how that progression went. It was fairly intense, especially to somebody that had never done it before. And afterwards, I would often take a nap. If I'm being fearlessly honest, sometimes I fell asleep during the process. And I began having lucid dreams. Lucid dreams are a really, really fun idea. You know, you're like, oh, you can fly in your dreams, you have magic powers, it's like God mode in a video game, you know? Well, that's, at least in my experience, that's not how lucid dreams work. You know, like, you're aware that you're having dreams, but it doesn't change the reality. You don't have the presence of mind to do magic stuff, or even necessarily, even when you do, which is super rare, for me at least, the dreams just don't allow you, you know? There's no rule that if you're having a lucid dream and you want to fly, that the dream has to let you. And mostly it was just internal struggle stuff, you know? I would often have a doppelganger in my dream, and he'd pursue me and try to kill me. And they were really miserable. It was a really hard time. And I eventually got to a point where I stopped doing Reiki, even though I did have some success as a Reiki healer. I helped a pregnant lady with sciatica, the whole while not believing in it. That's skepticism for you, you know? And anyway, I got to a point where I was sick of these lucid dreams because they were really exhausting. And I had to unlearn lucid dreaming. So it took me a couple weeks to learn how to lucid dream without even trying. And it took me 6 months to unlearn. Why am I talking about this right now? Well, last night I had a lucid dream. And I'm really scared, because I don't want to have lucid dreams. They're unpleasant. And my lucid dream last night was about this YouTube channel, and also about German. I'm learning German on Duolingo, so a lot of the dream was in German. And I was way better at German in my dream than I am in real life. And honestly, it wasn't an unpleasant lucid dream. I won't bore you with the details. Nobody cares about anyone else's dreams. But I'm scared that they'll turn unpleasant. You know, lucid dream might be a fun idea, but a lucid nightmare, I promise you that's not good. Now, 15 years ago, I was also a full-blown alcoholic. So I was a different person, suffice, you know? I was deep in my addiction, and it's unsurprising that my internal landscape, my subconscious mind, was a dark place. Where I'm not that now, so perhaps the results will be different, but I'm nervous about it. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you, because I want to tell on myself, I want to confess, but also it's pretty cool that the first lucid dream I've had in over a decade now was about YouTube and German. Two things that are silly interests in a way, but also things that I'm really enjoying and having a good time with. My Kang Squat. Let's get back to squats. This is squat every day. This is 175 on the bar, a PR for me. If you're watching this far, congratulations. The Kang Squat's a good morning. You're basically doing a standing good morning, and then you're dropping into as low as possible ass to grass squat position and coming up. Sometimes I do a top to bottom, bottom to top, where I good morning, squat, come back up in a good morning position and stand. Those are really cool. And I know a lot of you hate the Kang Squat and think I should stop doing it. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I just, I really like them, and I'm gonna keep doing them. And I think if you can Kang Squat a weight, that's your weight. That's your weight for the rest of your life. You own that weight. This is 185, a PR by a massive margin. I normally don't do this on account of I'm old and creaky. And I try not to PR by more than 5 or 10 pounds, but this is a 15, even 20 pound PR. And man, it felt good. A little sticky on the way up, but a really good lift. I'm really happy with it. I'm just happy in general today. Like, I got good feelings about it. Today's gonna be a good day. That was 185 on the Kang Squat. A pretty ridiculous PR. I don't know, I was feeling all kinds of special today, so I figured I'd go for it. But take a look at this. You might not be a weirdo about this shit like I am, but this is how I put 185 on the bar. Like, it's so fucking ugly and dumb. Look at it. Look at it. 2 25s, a 10, 2 5s, both sides, of course. Like, not that ridiculous. It's just, it's so ugly. It's so ugly and funny, and I wanted to share it with you. This is Joe in real life. I love you guys. I'm super grateful for you. Be nice to each other today, you know? I'm gonna try hard to do the same. I'll see you tomorrow, or later today. We'll see.